you all to the first regular meeting of RC Calcutta Millennium for the year 2020-21. Sanjay, now once again, I would want to request you to introduce our guest speaker for the evening.
Yeah. So the guest speaker is not very unknown to us. I think he had come into Rotary a few years, 4-5 years ago also.
Sanjay, if you could speak a little louder.
Okay. Yeah. So the guest speaker is Dr. Naresh Mintri, and he happens to be my cousin brother also, and he is a grandmaster in the art of the Reiki. You know, the Reiki transmission of energy and healing, the art of Reiki. And he is also a doctor in alternative therapies and a host of other things like hypnosis and, you know, past life regressions and all related matters like this. And he has been a professional, he's working as a professional in this line for the past 20 odd years, and he has worldwide followers. And whoever comes to him is extremely satisfied by his professionalism and his care, individual care which he takes for his patients. And it is not the quantity, but his quality of work is exceptionally well and very well famous throughout the world. He has a Facebook page also, and you can all log in there and check him out over there. And he regularly takes out a blog. He writes quite well on these topics. And he has got a lot of followers all over the world, like US and Europe and all those places. And people come to him for a lot of remedies when they have exhausted all the natural allopathic remedies and they don't see anything else going on. So they come to him, and quite a number of cases, very successful cases he has treated. And I can really vouch for him personally. It's my personal experience also. So I would now let him do the talking and explain, you know, give an introduction of himself, by himself. So I hand over the mic to Dr. Naresh Mintri.
A hearty welcome to you, Doctor.
Thank you so much for having me with you, Madam President.
We are eagerly waiting for your address, please.
And all the members. I'm glad to be with you. This is the third time that I'll be speaking to you all. I've attended 2 of your earlier meetings also.
Okay.
The thing is, how did I get invited today? Just a brief. Like Sanjay said, that I write regularly on Facebook on my page. And last week I posted a short story, rather an experience which I had, and that got me thinking and got him thinking also. To just narrate the story, I'm very fond of reading books, and whenever I read books, I prefer to buy a new book. I never buy a second-hand book. But about a fortnight back, a friend of mine suggested a book, and he even warned me the possibility of not getting a new book. So after searching all the e-commerce sites, I settled down on a second-hand book. And when I got it, I eagerly opened it. I'm very excited to read that book. But the moment I held that book in my hand, all the excitement vanished. There's no reason I could think of why it vanished. Then I just turned the pages and I saw there were pencil marks on the first 4 or 5 pages only. And thereafter there was no marking, which indicated that the person who bought that book did not go beyond that 5-7 pages initially. What could be the reason? And because being an energy healer and an energy worker, I started digging into it. I took out my tools and I checked the energy of the book. On a scale of -10 to +10, I found that the energy of the book was -8. And that gave me the reason why the person could not read that book and he had to sell it. I cleared that energy, raised the positive energy level, and left the book for a day. And then when I picked it up, before I knew how time flew, I had completed 40 pages. This got me thinking, does this happen with money also? If it could happen with a book, could it happen with the money? The currency that we handle every day. And we started discussing this on Facebook. Sanjay was part of that discussion. And then he said, would you like to join a Rotary meeting and explain this concept? I was very happy to do it because I'm passionate about energy healing. I've been studying this subject for almost 30 years now. And for the last 10 years, I've been doing it professionally. And I'm also researching into how energy can affect our lives. So to test whether it affects money, the currency notes, I got 3 of my fellow Reiki masters to do a test. What we did was we took out a currency note from our wallet and I asked them to check the energy level. One person, he got a neutral, rather a slight positive. One person, she said, I've just taken out notes from the ATM and they are brand new notes. I said, let's check it. And to our surprise, it was -3. Then the third person said, I've got used notes, let me check. And that was +2 on the scale of -10 to -10 to +10. Then we got discussing. The person who got +1, he said, I keep a Hanuman Chalisa and a few other positive things in my wallet. That is why the energy level could be high and positive. Why did a brand new note from the ATM have a negative energy? We started discussing it and we came to a conclusion that from the moment it was printed, packed, dispatched, handled at the bank end and into the ATM machine, many people may have handled it. And every person has got an emotion. Some emotion may have gone into it. Maybe a person was worried about what's happening at home, worried about what's happening at work, and that energy could have gone in there. Then why did the used note have a positive energy? That person said she had received that money that morning from a lady for whom she had arranged to transfer via Google Pay or Paytm to her son. And that lady was very, very happy that she helped her and blessed her while giving the note. So there was that happy energy coming with that note. This brings me to explaining how energy works. No, by the way, then what we did, we started clearing up all the notes, the negative energy also in that brand new note, and we recharged it with positive energy. And immediately the energy level in all three went up to +8 and more. Why did it happen? The thing is, we energy healers, we believe in that quantum physics theory that everything is energy. Energy can be transformed, it cannot be destroyed. Money also is an energy. That is why whenever we receive or make payment for our services, we say it's an energy exchange. We don't say it is a payment for our fees or a fees for our services. We call it energy exchange. I am giving energy for healing, and the person is giving me energy in the form of currency notes. This is the whole concept. But how did the positive and the negative come into effect? How does it? Because this is one subject which affects each one of us, all of us. Why money is good? Why money is bad? You ask someone, he'll say, money is the root cause of all evil. Someone will say, money is the way I can accomplish my dreams. If it is evil, how can it be good to help you accomplish the dreams? It's all in the mind. Yeah. How does it happen? Thought, emotions are all energies. And they start here. What you think here is what the energy that you're sending out into the universe, and the universe responds accordingly. I'll give you an example from the corporate world, and we all know the story, the Ambani brothers. About a decade and a half back, the two brothers decided to split. Nothing wrong till there. Families do split. But what went wrong with one brother, that today he is facing bankruptcy proceedings, and the other brother is on the top 10 richest persons in the world. If we recollect, when they were splitting, there was a lot of acrimony between the two of them. One wanted more, the other gave a little reluctantly, but he did give. So the person who was wanting more, what is he telling the universe? I don't have enough, I need more. That element, I don't have enough, was what the universe picked up, and whatever he had, the universe took it back. And the person who gave, what was the message that he was sending out? I have more than enough and I can give. He was giving. And today he has more than enough. He wouldn't know what to do with all the money that he has with him. So this is how the universe works. What you're thinking is what you're sending out. Now there are people who would say that if Mukesh Ambani is at that position, it is luck. And Anil Ambani, it is bad luck for him that he landed up in the situation. But no, as I explained, it is the thinking. There are people we know who suddenly come into a lot of money, maybe a lottery, maybe playing it right in the stock markets, or maybe even an inheritance. If they are not used to that level of money, they start thinking, what if I lose it? And that thought keeps playing in his mind. There comes a day when he actually loses it. But then there are people who are used to that kind of money and they're very happy. They start thinking, what can I do with this money to increase it? And they come up with plans and schemes where they can increase the money. Take an example. Someone comes to you for a voluntary for a donation, and you very happily give him the check or the cash. What are you giving with that? What is the energy you're giving with that money? Happy. But if an officer comes and demands a bribe, would you give it happily? Only if you have done something wrong and you want to cover it up. Otherwise, no. So if you are forced to give something, you will give it with anger or sadness. So that is the energy which is transferred with that currency. And that goes on. It carries on. Like I said with the example from the ATM, the currency from the ATM counter. There may be people who have positive energy, but there was someone who had that negative energy, and that was more powerful than the positive energy, and that carried with the currency. And the lady who gave it very happily, she overcame all the negative energies which may have been associated with that note. And the positive was left over there. So when we are handling money, what is the thought that is going through our mind? Is it a happy thought? Is it a sad thought? What is it? For example, you go to a shop, you bargain, and you come out very happy. But the person who sold it to you, he needed the money and he gave you that discount, but he was sad. Okay, I had to sell it at a loss. So immediately that happy money is transferred into a sad money, sad energy. If you are asked to pay a little extra, sometimes we give it very happily. Sometimes we don't. So that way the energy also goes with it. For example, today We are in a lockout. All the malls are closed. Big bazaars, Spencer, they are all practically closed. You've got to depend on the kirana shop. You're happy that at least there's someone who's opened a shop to give you the things that you need for your daily needs. So you're giving him happy money. And that happy money multiplies and moves on. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you said thank you to your wife when she gives you some money for your wallet? Has anyone done it? I doubt. Since nobody is responding, you'll say, मेरा पैसा था मैंने उससे मांगा क्या है? What to be thankful about it? But if both of you start saying thank you, the wife when she's receiving it for the household expenses, and even when she gives it, she says thank you. At least you came and asked me for something. And similarly, the husband, I'm grateful I'm able to give you this money. And thank you for giving me something for my pocket expenses. What are you doing? You are adding gratitude to that money. And gratitude is a very, very powerful energy which helps receive more. You're telling the universe, I'm grateful for what I have now. So the universe will give you more. That is how energy travels. The next time, just remember to do this. Whenever you receive money, even if it's a check for your business, mentally say thank you to that check. And when you make a payout, say thank you. You're getting something in return and you're giving someone money to help him live better. That money that you're giving, that profit which he may earn, he will be able to take care of his home, his family. Sometimes we negotiate a labor bill. The person says, हमको 3 दिन लगेगा काम करने का, but he completes it in 2 days. How do we react? वैसे ज़्यादा लग गया. But if you just change your thinking and say, okay, he's done it fast because he got that little extra moment that the fast he done it the work. So we got it. So what if we paid him extra? So you're happy about that payment, and so is the person who received it. It's a win-win situation for both of us. Never crib when giving out payment for services rendered. The basic thing is that we should be grateful for what we have now. But we are in the habit of cribbing every time. Kuch aur hota to. No, believe in this, that what you have right now is what you need right now. No less, no more. At least be grateful for it. It's like this. You give someone a present. Whatever it be, he's very happy about it and he receives it. He thanks you. Wouldn't you feel like giving him a present the next time you visit him or you have to give him a gift? But if that person does not thank you, he does not show his happiness on receiving that gift, would you like to give him a gift again? I don't think so. The same thing applies with the universe. If you start saying thank you for every small thing, you start getting more. How that more will come, we don't know, but it will come. I'll give you one more example. Wives usually cook in the kitchen. And there may be a particular dish which you like. Today she's cooked it. You enjoy having it. About a month later, you just ask her, can we have that dish again? Since you've asked, she will prepare it for you, but that day she's not in the mood to go into the kitchen. What will happen is that dish will not taste as good as the earlier one. Because the earlier one, she did it with love and care. Today, she's doing it under duress. She's doing it by force. So it may not be so interesting and so tasty for her. That is the energy which she's putting in over there. If that can happen with food, it can happen with everything. It can even happen with money. It's as simple as that. What goes on in your mind is what you give out, and it attaches itself to whatever it is that you're holding on to. How many times has it happened to you that you go out to buy something, you find the product, you like it, it's just what you want, you hold it in your hands, but then you decide not to buy it? Why? There is an energy associated with it which did not match with your energy at that point of time. That's why you said no. So be very careful about what is going through in your mind. So what I was saying was about investing or playing the stock market. What happens is many of us do make money, some even lose money. Why there's two difference? We get recommendations from our brokers, current market price this, buy at this, target this, period is this, and they add a stop loss figure. Say it's 100 rupees they give the current market price, you can buy up to 105, and the target is 125 in 14 days, and the stop loss is at 90. When we invest at a figure between 100 and 105, we keep that 90 rupees in mind. If the price comes down to around 90, I've got to quit. We forget the 125. So it will come down to around 90 for you. You'll quit, and then the market will go up to 120, 25. I've seen this happen many times. I don't invest over there. I just play it on paper and pencil. I've done it myself and I see it. And if you keep focusing on that 125, very soon you will be over there. It is what you focus on is what you get. You start worrying. Like I said, when you come across a lot of money, you start worrying. Will I be able to save it? Will I be able to keep this money? That's where we go wrong. You got that money, start thinking how you can let that money grow for you. So you're thinking of growth, not of loss. How many of you, this is my question for everyone, how many of you have tried to lose weight? How many of you have tried to lose weight? And how many have succeeded to keep that weight at the down level? You will never lose weight. Loss, nobody likes loss. At the moment you talk about losing, even if you misplace your car keys, you go searching for it like crazy. The weight that you have right now is part of your system. And the moment you lose it, your mind says, go search for it. And whether you like it or not, you'll put it all back. What is the option? I want to achieve, mark my word, I want to achieve my ideal weight. Yeah, you're gaining something. Achievement is gaining. Start thinking that way. You will reach your ideal weight even if it's 5 kgs below what you are right now, and you will be able to maintain it. So also with money. Stop thinking about losing money. Stop thinking of making it grow for you. If you earn something, अपने लोगों में कहते हैं ना, give something for charity. The Muslims have something for zakat. The Christians have something for alms. What does it mean? I have more than what I need so I can give for someone else. But if you're forced to give it, like I said earlier, you're not happy about it. You're doing it under compulsion. Just when the meeting was beginning, Madam President acknowledged to one of the members about a check she had received. I believe it's for a donation. And the person who gave it was very happy, saying, I was happy sending it to you. But if you were forced to give that money, would you be happy? Would that be happy money for the club? No. But if you are giving happy money to the club is using it profitably to help someone. So this is how our thought energy works. What you get tomorrow is not by luck. If tomorrow something good happens to you, it is because of what you're thinking today. Keep your thoughts positive, be it for anything in life. Money, anything you desire, even a vacation. Be thankful for it, even if it's a short vacation. Don't have to go to Switzerland for every vacation. It could just be to Darjeeling or Puri or anywhere. Be grateful for it. At least you got a chance to go out. If you're getting something good at home to eat, be grateful for it. Gratitude is a very, very powerful force. When we begin a Reiki healing session, the first thing that we do is what is known as the attitude of gratitude. We start thanking our parents, our guru, our teachers, the Lord, and the patient. And when we end, we thank the patient again for letting us help him. That is how energy works. If you forget that attitude of gratitude, the energy will not work properly. It will not flow through you properly. And how energy flows is, Sanjay asked me to give a demo today, and I'll try to give you a demo. I'd asked for a glass of water to be kept with each one of you. We'll try that. The basically thing is, be happy with what you have now. Don't compare yourself with someone else. Someone else in the same business or the same profession, he may be making money more than what you are doing. Don't be jealous of him. Be happy for him. And also be happy that at least you have something. You aren't sleeping on the footpath. You're not sleeping hungry. If you start being happy for someone else is something which we don't know. So we have got to start learning this thing. If only when we start being happy for someone, can we find happiness for ourselves. We save. There are two ways of saving. There will be someone who will say, life insurance में invest करता हूँ. In case something happens to me, my family will have that. This is what that TV person says, policybazaar.com. आपको कुछ हो गया तो पीछे से कौन संभालेगा? And another person is investing. I'm investing so that I have enough money when I retire and I'm no longer earning. See the two ends of the investment? He who saves with the thought that something happens to me, something will happen to him. And when he starts as someone who starts thinking that I'm going to enjoy this money when I retire, he will enjoy that money when he retires. Be very clear in what you want out of the money that you're saving. Don't save for the rainy day. You never know when that rainy day will come, whether you will have that money that day or not. But the universe is really, really cruel also. Start being negative with it, it will take everything away. You be positive with it, it will give you more than what you need. Never crave for anything. Desire, yes. Without desire, you're a dead leaf. You're dead wood. Have desires. Don't crave. Don't keep saying, nahi hai mere paas. If you keep saying, nahi hai mere paas, you will never have anything in life. I have heard people say this thing, who have enough for themselves, they still keep saying, मेरे पास तो खाने का भी पैसा नहीं है. Or they will say, I'm saving for my old age. How do you define old age? Have anyone seen old age? Today we are all sitting here. Has anyone seen tomorrow? So why not enjoy what you have today? And when I see this, I'm reminded of an incident which my mother told me some maybe about 30-40 years ago. Ram Tuvdas ji ka naam to sabhi sune hain. A very learned saint, a very respected saint amongst us. एक प्रवचन में उन्होंने कहा, तुम्हारे किस्मत में 1000 रुपया लिखा हुआ है, भगवान तुमको दे देंगे 1000 रुपया. अब दो काम कर सकते हो, पकड़ के रखो. 1000 रुपया मेरी किस्मत का, मेरे पास आ गया, बस खत्म. You don't enjoy it. But there's another person who will spend that 1000 rupees. से मेरे तो किस्मत में कल फिर आएगा, आज 1000 रुपया तो खर्चा करूं, enjoy myself. Tomorrow he'll earn another 1000 and he's going to enjoy another day. So whatever we have in destiny, if you call it destiny, you will get it. So why not enjoy this moment? Why not enjoy what you have now? Tomorrow it will come again. प्रारब्ध का लिखा हुआ कोई नहीं मिटा सकेगा. हाँ, आप खुद मिटा सकते हैं. Your thinking can change your destiny. Today you may not have enough, but you start saying, I have enough. Tomorrow or the day after, you will have enough, more than enough rather, if you keep saying it, if you start behaving that way. This is something which we find in the Ramcharitamanas also. The story of Shabri. Shabri's ashram was not in the path which Ram was supposed to take. He was going to Kishkindha, but he took a detour went to Shabdi's ashram, and then he went to Kiskinda. Why did he take that detour? Because Shabri had that belief, Mere Prabhu aayenge. And he kept herself prepared for it. And we all know how she prepared it. So keep that thought in mind with everything, even money. Aayega. I am making this investment. Tomorrow I'm going to get a better return out of it. Don't invest with the thought, tomorrow the market may crash, things may go wrong. And things did go wrong over the past 3-4 months. Everything, commerce went into a tailspin. There are people who've been cribbing about it. But we are all surviving. And we are all happy. Because we started believing one day things will improve and we will earn it all back. This basically, I've touched upon how our thoughts, the energy emanating from our thoughts can affect every aspect of our life. It's a very vast subject. If I keep speaking, it'll take me quite a few hours to explain everything. I am working on a workshop which I'll be doing over WhatsApp on how we can heal our relationship with money. That's a very major factor, because money is something which we all need. We may call it the root cause of all evil, but then we still need money. We want to earn, we want to have more money, and yes, we can have it just by changing our thought energy. I think I've been able to introduce this subject. Before I go on to the energy transfer part, is there, if Madam President allows, would anyone like to ask me something? I'll try to help answer those questions.
I think it's been very enlightening, Nareshji, and you put the whole thing in an absolutely new perspective, given us a lot of food for thought. And I do agree with you that, you know, the way we handle money and the thoughts with which we handle money, it matters a lot. And somewhere, you know, your deliberations resonated with my thoughts, which I've been having. And I also have always tried to be positive about, especially about money matters, because that's one thing which tends to go wrong and you can't do much about it. And therefore, you know, positive thinking really matters a lot. And I congratulate you for a wonderful deliberation.
Thank you so much for appreciating it.
And in fact, you know, today we have only Calcutta Millennium with us. I'll be talking with the president to organize a zonal meeting where 5 or 6 clubs will join together in the entire thing, and we'll have a larger audience for your address, Nareshji. It was very, very good, and I want to expand it further and allow other people to also enjoy.
I'll be very happy and grateful for this opportunity to share what I know, what I've learned, what I've understood about energy work and energy healing.
Thank you, Dr. Mintri.
Thank you,
It was, yes, it was extremely enlightening for us. As Ajayda mentioned, of course, we will look at life, not only money, life from a different perspective. Enjoying the present moment. That is the most important.
That is what I wanted to convey. That is exactly what I wanted to convey. Enjoy what you have now.
Yes, yes. Enjoy the moment till it lasts.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We would like to have you again in our future sessions. And as Ajada said, I will try to organize a zonal meet of the other clubs as well. And we can have a larger audience, and we would want to have you again with us.
It'll be my pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, Devyani, would you like to have a short meditation session or something?
If the other members agree, you have to take the general.
Because I believe that he can show some practical things also.
Ajada, when Ajada?
Sanjay, we can have more time later on. Abhi kya hai ki it's slightly late, so maybe when we have more time, it will be more fair to Naresh ji, and we can absorb it better. Abhi thoda sa time ka constraint ho gaya because it's getting late, and we'll be able to absorb it better when we have a session next time. और ज़्यादा टाइम रहेगा संजय तो ज़्यादा अच्छा रहेगा. This is my opinion.
Fine. Okay.
My request to Rotarian Sanjay Agarwal, if he could just propose a formal vote of thanks to the participants of today's meeting and to the guest speaker. If you can unmute yourself.
की तरफ से नरेश जी को अगर आप भिजवा दे तो बड़ा अच्छा रहेगा, मैडम प्रेसिडेंट.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. We will arrange Sanjay to get it across. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
With our full gratitude, as we have learned from you.
My pleasure, ma'am. And I'm grateful you had me here.
We are all the more grateful that you have invited us.
Yes,
ये जो मैसेज तो जाएगा नरेश जी, ये सारा हम लोग के सबके ग्रेटिट्यूड और प्यार के साथ जाएगा.
नहीं, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
इसमें एनर्जी बहुत मिलेगी आपको एनर्जी अच्छी मिलेगी.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Just ma'am, if I can say, if anyone is interested in learning about these energy things from me, we could organize a workshop. We can do it over WhatsApp also. If people or the family members are interested, we can do it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your invite. We will definitely keep that in mind. And so today, there being nothing more to discuss on the club business.
Sanjay is giving vote of thanks.
Yes. I would request Sanjay Agarwal to propose a formal vote of thanks. Yes, Sanjay Agarwal. Rotarian Sanjay Agarwal.
I think he has left. He's not in the list anymore.
He is left, I think so.
He has left.
So Shraddha Malani can do it, I think.
Okay, Shraddha.
Okay.
Please, if you could propose the vote of thanks.
So, on behalf of Rotary Club of Calcutta Millennium 3291, I would like to congratulate, or rather, giving us so nice informations about the all informations you imparted to us, and about the attitude of the gratitude. It was such powerful session. So we are highly enlightened about it, Dr. Mintri. So we look forward for future, sessions of this from you. Thank you.